anything you do for the first time is uncomfortable, but we don't grow. Growth is always an uncomfortable feeling. If you think of a balloon expanding, it doesn't feel nice. But if we want to go beyond in life, we need to get out of our comfort zone and we need to experience that growth. And then once we get to the other side, it's very rewarding.
As we're talking happiness also with you, definitely we have to, right? And it's such a big topic, I guess, for everyone. I mean, what are we living for? I would assume it's happiness, but you are really into research and science with that. So maybe there's some learnings that we can, or insights that we get from you today that may surprise us. But why is it that we want to grow? Is that really what brings us happiness? Is it that the discomfort that brings us happiness?
So first of all, a disclaimer that happiness includes uncomfortable emotions.
Wow.
And it's not just about being happy in the moment. Happiness is not about jumping for joy. It's about building a life that is rich in meaning and purpose and that allows us to be our authentic self. So the definition that I go by goes all the way back to Aristotle. For me, he is the original life coach of all time. And it's the eudaimonic approach, which is kind of more of a long-term game. We're building happiness as a form of prevention of mental health conditions. And we're also building resilience. So in that sense, happiness is something that we can practice and that we can build on a daily basis in many small ways to become stronger and to thrive.
So you're saying because we want happiness in life, we're actually, while kind of pursuing it, we're building resilience. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is we often have the idea that happiness is I'm so happy right now, but actually building long-term sustainable happiness includes uncomfortable emotions and difficult moments. What I see right now in society, for instance, is people avoiding any discomfort, whether it's through numbing, scrolling, alcohol, shopping, you name it. There are many different examples. Distracting yourself rather than facing yourself sometimes. It's very difficult to sit with yourself with difficult emotions. But long-term sustainable happiness is about training yourself to be able to make it through challenging times.
And if we bring in now dancing also, because this is so specific to your transformational experience in that sense, where does the discomfort come in? I mean, I could imagine that learning a new style is maybe not comfortable, but then at the same time, if we're not professional dancers, it can probably still be playful, right? But where did that discomfort happen for you while you were on that journey of exploring dance and dance styles?
Wow. So I think I can give you a great scene just to picture in your mind in terms of discomfort. I danced on stage for the first time in front of over 1,000 people in New York, wearing nothing more than a bodysuit and fishnet stockings. I had no idea that this was a performance and boot camp for semi-professionals, and I had signed up as a complete beginner.
Wow.
Now, the thing is, I tend to not give up on things. I like to finish things. Sometimes even to my own detriment. I still have scars on my feet from that boot camp. But it was uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable wearing practically nothing. I felt uncomfortable being with people who were a much higher level than me. I felt uncomfortable that I simply couldn't grasp the routine as fast as everyone else. It was, I think, a 6 or 8 hour boot camp, and I had to put the same amount of hours in rehearsal just to be able to do the performance. But the point is that I did do it. And what's more, some of the professional dancers in this group actually took time to help me outside of the boot camp to prepare for that performance, which really shows a lot about generosity and wanting to help others. The thing with dance is it's extremely uncomfortable. Of course, there's a lightness and there's a joy if you just bounce around your living room to your favorite song. But learning how to learn a new dance style as a complete beginner, as I was at 30 years old, is a different story. You may have to do the same step over and over and over again. I remember there was one step in the national dance of Mexico, the jarabe tapatío. I just couldn't do it. I think I did it 1,000 times until I finally got the step right. And there was no way that I could control it. That's another thing. We think we can control everything in life, but actually It's just effort, time, effort, practice. And that's quite uncomfortable, especially these days when we're surrounded by cheap dopamine and we want everything right away. Putting time and effort into something, it's actually amazing for our brain. So yeah, the discomfort is also in being seen. What I find is really powerful about dance is it helps people overcome shame. If you ask people to get up and dance in front of everyone in a room, they'd probably just die or be like, oh no, don't ask me to do that. But I remember before I embarked on this journey, I was living in Bangkok, Thailand at the time, and I was at a dinner, and there was a woman, a grandmother actually from the Dominican Republic, which is one of the countries I went to dance on my journey. She got up in the middle of the dinner because they played a song she liked. She just started dancing. And I remember looking at her and I was like, that is what I want for myself. That is how I want to age. That is who I want to be. I want to get up in the middle of a room and dance without a care for what anyone thinks about me.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.